Here in Barcelona with Steve Ballmer, the CEO of Microsoft. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Ballmer. And today in Barcelona you introduced Windows Mobile Phone 7. It's, I would say, a little bit less office and more entertainment. What is so exciting about it?
Well, the real thing we're trying to get done with the Windows Phone 7 series, as we call it, is to really build a different kind of a phone that focuses on this notion of people whose lives are in motion. You're moving, the world around you is changing, you're flipping between your work life and your personal life. And so what we tried to do is really integrate that and bring it out in the front of the user experience of this next generation of Windows phones.
Could you be a little bit more specific? What can we do with a new system? And to make it perfectly clear, it is not a new mobile phone, it is a completely new operating system for different mobile phones.
It's a class of mobiles, Windows phones, that will be built by a number of manufacturers from Samsung, LG, HTC, and many other hardware makers around the globe. That's right. So it's a whole family of Windows phones. But you get a Windows phone, you take a look at it, the thing that first you see is a set of smart tiles. And every one of those can be communicating to you real-time information about things that are important in your life. You don't have to start an application, go someplace. We've integrated in app starting, of course, as well. We've integrated in search and mapping and location very well with what we call the Bing button, referring to our Bing search. And what we've tried to do is bring an integrated approach to people's lives, from office and productivity software right through to gaming and entertainment.
So let's go into details with gaming. There's a direct connection to Xbox Live. I think lots of people have waited for this. How does it work?
Well, what we've really tried to do is say, look, we want to help integrate the world of gaming. You know, you want to play games with people who may be on other phones, on the PC, on the Xbox. You want that kind of real-time interactivity that we've brought to the video game console with Xbox Live. We're using that same infrastructure as part of the new Windows Phone 7 series.
Talking about the design, I just saw it. What did you learn from Windows Mobile 6.5? Because this, not everybody was satisfied with it.
I think a couple of key things. Number one, the hardware is really advanced so importantly that we can depend on a much richer hardware foundation. That's why the graphics are so much more appealing, because you can do all of that and still have low cost and low battery life, which was not true a few years ago. That's certainly number one. And number two, we said, look, people on the go need information at a glance. And that's a fundamentally different kind of user design principle for this new generation of Windows phones.
I just asked your developer when will the first devices be available for the users. He said, ask Steve. So when will it be? They are still not here.
First generation of devices will be for the holiday season this year, so the end of 2010. But this is a product that many people will write applications for, many people will build hardware, and many mobile operators, including Deutsche Telekom and many others, will want to provide. So we have to give longer lead time to the market, because this thing would have been leaking left and right if we hadn't announced it now, even though it's not available until the Christmas season.
But you talk about apps, applications. I think they are becoming more and more important and be the market for the next 10 or 20 years. And who's making it right now this year, who will be there in the next years. So what do you plan with the applications?
Well, we certainly have a rich platform for application developers to build on, and we have a conference next month called Mix, where we're going to go through all the details with software developers on how they can do exciting applications for Windows Phone 7 series.
In the past month or years, Microsoft lost a little bit against Apple, the iPhone. So when you see the market here, what can big companies learn from Apple? What do they have to learn?
Well, I think all of us have an opportunity to continue to move forward. Apple wasn't in the market, and they jumped in with a leapfrog, and it reminds us all that we have to continue to jump ahead. This market is very dynamic. The market leader today is Nokia, RIM, and BlackBerry's number 2. Apple's still only number 3 in the market. And we all have an opportunity in this dynamic space to continue to jump over one another. Our unique challenge has been we're the fourth player, but we're the first player who doesn't build their own hardware. So we have to bring this together and have the best of the hardware innovation of many companies along with our software innovation. And I think we do that much better with Windows Phone 7.
In 2010, you worked, I think, 30 years for Microsoft. Did you ever see how big the influence would be on mobile computing, mobile phoning for the market, and how it would change our lives? Did you ever have this idea of what it would do?
Well, certainly. 30 years ago, no, I won't tell you. I won't tell you it was in my thinking cap 30 years ago explicitly, implicitly maybe, but not explicitly. When I joined Microsoft, Bill Gates said to me, look, someday the chip is going to represent kind of free intelligence. We just got to give it the right software. And we're still working on that. And in a sense, that's how we get to these powerful smartphones, is with processors that are more and more capable at very, very low prices. And so in a sense, I'd say the answer was no. In a sense, Bill had it all right.
I have to ask one more details into the hardware. How important is a graphics card for the new devices today? Is it possible to have multitasking with new Windows Phone 7? It's still not getting used to Phone 7.
Yeah, I'd say Windows Phones. It's okay. It's like BMW 7 Series, Windows Phone 7. But when you take a look at the graphics, that is important. And it's an area where we see a lot of innovation. One of the things we require for anybody building a Windows Phone 7 Series is a very high level of graphics capability built into the phone.
And you mentioned already social networks. How will they change our lives? How important are they still today, like Facebook, Twitter, and so on?
Well, I think the notion of people wanting to socialize is, of course, incredibly important. Different people have different ways they want to communicate. One of the things we're trying to do with the new Windows phones is to bring those together. So if I want to see a smart tile that's got my wife on it, whether she's interacting through social networks, text messaging, email, Twitter, I want all of that brought together for me. And I think that there's no one communications modality that's going to satisfy everybody. We have to continue to support a variety of innovation in the way people communicate and socialize.
Okay, last question for innovation. Microsoft were the first to do software for mobile phones. You introduced as first the Slate this year. Where do you see the mobile market in the next, let's say, 12 or 15 months? What is your vision?
Well, I think you say next 18 months, the real keys will be the continued advance of interesting new PC designs. We're going to see Slate PCs, we're going to see dockable slates, we're going to see a lot of interesting things going on with Windows PCs. And at the same time, for us, next 15, 18 months is on the phone side, it's all about Windows Phone 7 Series.
Says Steve Ballmer. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate it.
Success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.